Hey you, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how I make my earrings. So these few featured in this video are brand new designs for my upcoming shop update. I'll link everything you need to know down below so that you'll know where to go, so don't worry. So my earrings are kind of like a big part of my personality. Do you think so? I feel like they are my identifier. People be like, oh, she's that earring girl, the girl that wears long earrings. Like, yeah, that me. So this is kind of like a video into my brain and my creative process. And I'm just gonna say it here because it's important. But just because I'm showing you how I make my earrings does not give you the permission to go ahead and copy them and make them for your own. Don't be someone who steals from small businesses and creators, because really the best form of flattery is supporting my work and my art directly. Okay? Cool. Stealing is not good. It's not fun. Nobody likes to deal with people who steal their art, so don't be one of those people. If you really like my art, then you can like support me in other ways. Just don't steal. Lesson of the day. Enough talking. Enough talking. Let's get to the first design. I can't stop with the fingers. I just keep like pointing at everything. Let's go to the first design. Yeah. So I think it would be good if we start off with something that is very trendy right now, something that everybody is doing but everybody loves at the same time, so it's not a bad thing that everybody is doing it. Clay earrings. I just rambled on for a very long sentence, but what I mean is let's start with clay earrings because I think everybody can try their hand in making clay earrings on their own. Of course, I have my own little twist to things. It should come out looking something like this. So this is the design we are going to be working on today. That was such a tongue twister. I've created this rolling hack, flattening hack. I don't have one of those pasta machines, so I've taped 2 ice cream sticks together so I can have an even roll out, and this is how it works. Place it like this and roll it. Not a perfect setup, but it will do. I'll take this very useful tool and just like pop any air bubbles that I see. Can you see on camera? This is what I mean by an air bubble. Pop that. I'll just avoid the areas with the bubbles, and I will use this very useful cookie cutter in the shape of a flower and like stab them out. I got this random bunch of cute cookie cutters when I was in Japan, so I don't know where you can get something similar, but I've heard that you can find a lot of custom cutters from Etsy, and you can even make your own. So if you're into that, you can research on how to do that. Sometimes after cutting it up, I still have to go and smooth out the edges with my hands. That's just part of the clay making thing. Oh, it looks like I'm flipping you off. I was just gonna say my nails are too long, so like when I try to get them out of the cutter, this happens. Not ideal, not fantastic, so I'm gonna sacrifice and like cut off my nails. After we've cut them out, we're gonna bake them. After cooling down for a little bit, we can get to painting. I have my red paint and my white paint here. So what I'm doing is 2 colorways of the same design because I think different people need different accessories to suit their wardrobe, right? Some people like red, some people like white, so I thought it would be nice to at least provide that option. I'm probably gonna do about 2 coats of these colors. I add a little bit of water with the paint because I don't want it to dry out and crack on the clay, because I've made the mistake of painting too many layers to try and cover up the previous layers, and then like sometimes it gets too thick and it's way beyond saving, and like no matter what you do, it just cracks all the way. So like just save yourself the trouble, do 1 good coat of paint, mix with a little bit of water, and it should be good. This is the fun part. I don't do enough painting, so this is like my little escape from my digital work. It's fun to be painting, but I just don't like waiting for paint to dry. I think a lot of people understand my pain. It's literally waiting for paint to dry. It's not very exciting, so I just kind of want to like hurry up to the next step. I'm not a very patient person, so this is therapeutic at the same time, very slow. Okay, so we'll let that dry for a little bit and then we'll bring it to life. The smiley faces. So I think you realize that I didn't sand down any of the clay parts, or I basically didn't mess with it after baking, because I actually like the the imperfections of clay. I don't think it has to look perfect. I actually quite like the little bumps or like the little bits of extra texture that the clay has. It keeps that, how do I put this nicely into words? It just looks more raw and a little bit more handmade, and that's exactly what it is, and that's why I like it. I don't want to make it look like it's perfectly cut up by like a machine, so that's why I don't like sand it down or anything. I like it bumpy. This is when I realized I had fucked up. You see, before the clay is baked, this is like the best time for you to make any holes in the clay that you want and to like insert any extra parts that you need to connect all the earrings together. I don't know why I forgot this part. It just slipped my mind and I was just so excited to like punch out the clay and start painting. So this is what it's supposed to actually look like at this stage. So here we are, a brand new day and a fresh set of clay babies. Let's work on the wire part of this design. So in the experimental stage, I kind of have an idea of what I want the wire to look like, but the problem is, how do I get it to look that way? Try something like this, a little bit more curvy, a few more turns and twirls, but I figured that it looks kind of distracting on the ear. Tried and tested, didn't really like it, so in the end I settled for a more simple, flatter shape. So it looks like a stem with a leaf, and that's exactly what I was going for. I would use something like this to twist the wires, but I don't want it to get scratched up. What I'm gonna do is actually take 2 pieces of cotton pad and wrap it around the, what do you call this tool? The earring making tool? The pliers? Yeah, something like that. I just wrap it around so that it makes a soft landing for the wires and it won't scratch up anything. So yeah, this is just a little tip for you. You should get something like this. I mean, it's kind of old, which is why it makes this ASMR noise. Not very pleasant, but maybe I can oil it? I don't know. This design I think is about 10 to 11 centimeters of wire, so I'm gonna cut out a bunch of it first. Once you have this, all I have to do is send this into this. Seems simple, right? I've practiced on some wire beforehand, and even then, not everything turns out the way you want it to. The curve is way too far behind and I can't untwist it to make it look pretty, so thank you for your sacrifice. I think that's the hardest part about working with wires. It's just like getting them to move how you want it to, and like to get them to look kind of the same. Oh, that was actually such a nice piece. This is perfect. Okay, but I'll just go ahead and make a couple more of these, and then we can move on to the best, the worst, the UV resin step. Okay, so I have my UV resin here, my UV lamp, and also some glitter that I'm gonna use in this design to add some extra the extra spice. We like sparkly, shiny things, like look at this in this house. Disclaimer, I am fully aware that I am not properly equipped, so I will just do my best to be as careful as possible. If you are working with resin, please do what you can to do it in the right procedure. How do I say this? Like, make sure you have all the necessary safety equipment. For this demonstration only, I shall put some plastics in my lungs. After this, I'll look for other alternatives, but let's just work with what we've got. So I'll just take a bit of resin and put like a really thin coat on it. Then I'll take 2 pieces of glitter, which is very thin. This glitter in particular is so thin and flimsy, it's so hard to pick up, but for beauty, I shall persevere. I'll seal it in with a little bit more resin and then we're done. So I'll just put this baby inside. To attach the wire piece to this clay piece, I will also be using resin to kind of glue them together and then add some final sparkly bits. The finishing touches would be to sand off any sharp edges I have from the cut wire, and here is the final piece. Okay, so up next I'm gonna show you how I make this lovely pair. I would describe this pair as edgy, sparkly, and time for a party. Is there a thing as too much? You can decide for yourself, but I think this is just the right amount of shiny things on my ear. Here's what I use to make these earrings. The first thing you'll need is a lot of PVCs, and these are things that I've just bought or thrifted over the years. I just keep things for the longest period of time. I don't know if you can tell, but look at this space. It's just like I keep things. When I tell you that my earrings are like limited edition and can't be remade, it's because of this very reason. I think I found a couple of these in like a stationery shop near my house. This was actually found in like a hardware DIY store in the car section, and this is meant to like make your car shiny. And I was like, this could come in useful, and I bought it and I never knew if I was gonna use it, but you know what? Today I'm using it. I bought a few meters of this stainless steel chain from Japan, and this packet of metallic glass beads also from Japan. I created a bunch of my tiny logos with shrink plastic, and also found some beads in like a cute shop from Chinatown. Ha! Wow. So this earring is made out of many different shapes, and we're gonna start with that. This is going to be the crescent moon. This is gonna be the heart shapes. This shall be a wavy line, and this is going to be a circle. Don't be deceived, because the circle sounds the simplest, right? But it is the worst to cut. Through the process of experimentation, I've realized the best way is to just scratch the PVC using this very sharp and pokey tool, which I don't know the name of, and it'll be way easier to cut than if you use a pen and try to like avoid the outlines. And you should be able to see a very brief outline of the heart. All you have to do is cut like a bajillion of this and a whole bunch of other shapes like the moon and all that. I think the hardest part about this video is getting the camera to focus on this, because essentially it's nothing. Oh, but you can see on the phone. Okay, here you go. This is the moon cutout. Yeah, that's so much easier than this camera. I'm still gonna try to get it though. Oh yeah, you can see the moon. Okay. Can you hear this ASMR crunching thing? That's been eating a really loud rice cracker. Show everybody the rice cracker that I bought. It's this sweet soy sauce rice cracker. Nice. How is it? Is it yummy? Of course, I buy the best snacks, right? So I'll take a strip of this orange PVC and simply cut it. Estimate how long it's gonna be, and then this took me quite a while to design because I wanted to balance the shapes and the colors, so it'll come out like this. Last but not least, the circle. Just take any random like sized circle that I like. I'm using my washi tape for now. So we have all of our parts here, and I'm just gonna go ahead and get them ready. As many of you will know, I still cut all of my stickers by hand. I guess because I'm just so used to doing it, I haven't found a need to outsource them, but since my numbers are getting higher, it's getting a little bit tedious and painful to cut everything by hand, so I might have to start thinking about it. But like, yeah, ding ding ding, we have a winner. I'm going to measure how long I want my chain to be and then just cut it. I'm going to add all of the elements together, and this is the final piece. I'm having such a hard time, and I feel like this is definitely my villain origin story. Resin. It's just my hatred for resin has been built up because I don't know if it's just me not doing it the right way or not doing it the best way. I don't know how those like small businesses and small shops make like hundreds and hundreds of clay pieces and resin everything together. I'm like doing 80 and like I wanna not a great time. Yeah, so if I become evil, you know why. Resin. Oh, the food came. Today we are having Indomie with a fried egg, luncheon meat, and some fish fingers. Ta-da! Teamwork makes the dream work. I work and she... No, that's horrible. Hi, so finally we're on to the last league of the earring making. I'm gonna be working on this design in 2 colors as well as this one. Once again, disclaimer, I am not an expert in using resin. This is not a how-to, this is just my process. So yeah, don't be like me, don't learn from me. So let's start out with the epoxy resin part. I have crystal resin here, which dries extra clear and transparent, and we have to mix them in the correct ratio so that they activate and react properly. I have my trusty little weighing scale over here, and I'm just gonna measure 3 to 1 parts. Mix them up all together and ensure there are as little bubbles as possible, and we can get to the making. This is a very standard mold. I feel like everybody who has ever tried and played with resin has this mold. I got it from Amazon many years ago, like many years ago. So this is actually one of the molds I started out my whole business with, and I still have it. So it might not be the newest or the freshest, which is why sometimes after the whole process I still go over it with a layer of UV resin to get back that gloss. So what I do is I actually pour in a little bit of resin before I start putting all the glitters in, because what I've learned is that if I put in the glitters first, the chances of it like popping out with bubbles from the front side is quite high. So I just put in the resin and make sure there are no bubbles first to kind of minimize that effect happening at the end. Okay, so I just make sure there's a little bit of resin in there, and then we can get to the fun part. This is where I get to choose whatever glitter I want to put into the earring. So I'm using this flower glitter. I'm trying to arrange them in the best way so that each color kind of peeks through the different sides, and I kind of want to make it a bit more bottom heavy so that all the glitter looks like it's settling onto the bottom. Doing the same thing for this diamond shaped one. I'll be using a mix of these like sequin glitters. It's kind of tricky because I'm only using certain colors and certain shapes from this whole packet, so I'm opening them up and like kind of picking from it, getting the best of the packet. Okay, and then I'm using a very simple iridescent like mermaid glitter for the gem, and adding some of the holographic sparkles that you saw in the last design into here as well, because later when I put in a pearlescent backing it really pops. I'll show it to you. After I'm done slowly arranging everything just how I like it to look, I finish it up and fill it up with resin. So I can basically only do like 2 pairs a day for the studs, so this is a really long process. So after that dries, I need to do a second layer for this gem design. See, it's dry now. So I'm gonna mix up a small batch of UV resin, mix that with some white pearlescent powder, give it a good mix, and just finish up the top layer. So once they pop out, they should look like this. Very cute. You can see there is a sturdy thickness to it. You can see how sparkly and shiny it is now. Everything looks put together and like, you know, it just looks way better. So like, even though I don't want to use UV resin, sometimes I guess I have to. Oh, this is the fun one. So I'm gonna cure that under the UV lamp for a bit, and then that's it. We are done with resin for the time being. Once we have all the resin parts done, this is where we have to assemble. All of my materials in this design was bought when I was still living in Japan, so I've been hoarding them for a long time. But I found these really pretty ribbons and this like bit of pearl that is already strung together. So I just took 3 of these ribbons and I sewed them at the top together to form one long piece. Oh, you can really see my cracked nails. What I'm gonna do is take this metal bit, this connector part, to hold the ribbon together, and I just wrap the whole ribbon in there and I close it up. What's interesting about this design is that it's kinda unconventional. I got inspired by this thought in my head and I was like, how do you connect earrings? The only way to connect them is through the parts, or is it? So I thought, why not make the connecting part the backing of the earring? The backing of the stud. The piece alone would just be this, so if you wanted to wear it as just a sparkly stud, no one's gonna stop you. You just need to borrow another stud from one of your earrings and then you can wear it. But then if you're feeling a little bit fancy, this is kind of like an add-on piece. Woo! Immediately spiced up level 10. Ready? Spicy level 1000! Big brain things. I just thought it would be nice to kind of like mix and match. I just take one of the jump rings and I connect it at the stud. Let me take the time to show off my Jujutsu Kaisen earrings. This is My Man Megumi, Triple M, My Man Megumi, and also Gojo, Pretty Boy Gojo, because who doesn't love him? He is so sexy. But yeah, okay, love them. I should have bought more ribbon, I should have bought more. That's okay, one day when I'm able to go back to Japan, I'll buy stuff again and like restock them. But for now, all these pieces are limited, so like, if you're fast, good luck. I'm keeping one for myself. Duh. I gotta have them, I gotta keep them. I'm sorry. I have first dibs. And then second dibs goes to my Patreon because they have early access to my shop. And then it's open to the public. So like, yeah. I'll try to make more in the future. So just repeat the steps but with the different designs. And this is the final lookbook. Hey, welcome back to the end of the video. No, that sounds funny. I hope you enjoyed seeing my process and my lookbooks. You know, I've been like working my ass off for this shop update, so I'm so excited to finally release it into the world and let you guys like enjoy and soak it all up, because I've seen enough of my own work. I'm so tired. Once the shop opens, I'm gonna take a fat nap. I deserve it. I'm not gonna pretend like it's effortless and running a business is easy, because it's not. Nuh-uh. I need a fat nap. So those are just the earrings actually. I have a bunch of other new things that I'm gonna release in the shop. I have a restock of this keyring, this design. It's like a sad face and a smiley face. It got sold out so quickly the last time, so they are back. I engraved these all by hand and I featured them in like my first studio vlog. Fun times. I have a ton of new sticker designs. I think I have like 4 or 5 new vinyl stickers. Also, they are all matte because I love matte stickers. Glossy stickers work for some people, but I love a good like smooth matte finish. A brand new square print that I featured in my last video as well. I freaking love this drawing. Like I've talked about it so much on Instagram and everything. Everyone knows how much I love it. So I'm excited for you to get your hands on it if you like it as much as I do. And last but not least, last does not mean least important. Last is actually for a big dramatic reveal. This is my first home decor item. Oh, can you see yourself? Oh, here's a free compliment. That shirt you're wearing suits you so well. Keep it spicy. I can see Win. I can see her here. She's holding up my script for me. So I call these mirrors compliment mirrors. Why? Because there's a compliment on it. Ooh, and I have 3 fresh new designs that I engraved. So bless my wrist. So there is Keep It Spicy, there is I See a Cutie, and there is Looking Good. That should be all. I think that's all the new items. I will put everything else up on screen if I've missed out anything. But yeah, I just want to thank you so much for watching this video if you've gotten this far. And I want to give a special shout out to my patrons for supporting me every month and allowing me to make art every single day. Like, none of this would be possible without my patrons. Honestly, I would just be like struggling, so thank you so much. This month I have a lot of pancake themed items. I think a print, 2 stickers, and some stuff. So if you're interested and you like the look of them, you can check me out on Patreon and support me there if you wanna. But if not, I'll see you guys at the shop update. I'm so excited for you to get new stuff, for me to clear my room. You're not seeing what's on the floor here. Have a kick-ass freaking amazing week, and I will see you in the next video sometime soon. Bye. See you at the shop update. Oh my god, Win. See you at the shop update. Yeah. Yeah. Bye. Yeah.